Good evening, everybody. This is Brian York with Yorkie Moto Garage. We're doing a special build. I've had this bike for a long time. It's a 1968 Z50, and it's a tall bar. I won't get into production numbers or anything that right now. We're just going to start this thing out, and I'm going to show you some variances on some of these parts that during production that they changed. And a lot of them was for safety reasons. Some of them were other reasons that they decided that they didn't like the way it was tooled, and they turned around and changed it later on in production. But we're going to start. This is going to be, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 parts. I apologize for not doing any videos for a while. I've been super busy with life and music and work and everything, and I'm going to start doing some more videos. But right now we're going to start on this 68 Z50 tall bar. The bike that I've got is number 447. Now, I've got some crib sheets here to kind of go over some stuff. There was 1,125 to my knowledge. Now, you can do your own investigating. There might have been more. There might have been less. I'm not looking at anybody's books or anything. I've done all my own research. I want to say there was 1,125 tall bar bikes total. How many are left? Nobody knows. There could be more than that. There could be. That's the only ones that's documented around 1,125. But these bikes went through a lot of changes in the first year of 68. There's a lot of changes on, oh my gosh, where do we start? Sprocket sizes. There was different thickness of sprockets, different chains, different hubs, different tubes. I'm going to go through some of this stuff and just kind of show you, and maybe you'll understand this maybe a little bit better after I do it. We're going to start with the first tires that the bikes had on them were Nitto tires. Okay, these are original Nitto tires. They're in really good condition. The Nitto. Now, the 68 bike would have had come with a Nitto tube, which is the Nitto tube. Kind of hard to see, but... And on the first 1,000 of those bikes, or maybe more, I don't know. Now, I'm just going by a guesstimation. It could be more or less. So, see the double nuts on these? The first ones would have had the double nuts on the stem, and both of these nuts go on the top of the rim after you get the actual tube inside the rims. Then, I got brand new Honda rims over here. I just bought these the other day. I've got the original rims, but they were pretty rusty, and these are already painted. They already come painted from Honda in the cloud silver, already done up nicely. So, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you all this stuff, and then after we get done, I'll stop the video, put these things together, and show you a picture of them after they're done. Okay, so I think we went through. Now, I wanted to also tell you that these, in 68, they came in 2 colors. They came in a scarlet red, and then they came in a, what they call a bright yellow. And the tank was in 2 color. If you got the red, it has red, and then it has the white, what they call ivory white on the tank. It would have had a round badge. They were really nice looking bikes. They have a toggle switch. They do not have a ignition switch, just basically a toggle switch and on and off. The tall bar bikes would have had a 2 or 2.5 inch taller handlebar on them than the later models. And we'll get into that later. I don't want to get into that now, but I want to show you just what we're doing with the wheels today, the variations on some of the stuff that they did back then. So I'm going to start off with sprockets. Okay, so they made a, let's see, that would have been the first 69 bikes had 34 tooth sprocket, and it would have been a 415. Okay, so this is a 34. And this one is a 35. This is a later model. And this would have been on the later model. This is a 420. Now, if you look at this, the difference See the difference in the width of these? The 415 is not as wide, and it's a smaller sprocket. Okay, and this would have came on your straight guards and some of your slant guards, and this one would have been just your tall bars, early bikes. The first, I think you said there was the first 6,900 of them. So this would have been your tall bars, and then some of your slant guards, and maybe a few of your straight guards. But this one is going on my bike. This one I've got for another bike. This is an original sprocket. I had it re-zinc plated. It's really good. It's got a little bit of rash there, but it's original. I want to keep this bike as original as possible. So, okay, so now I want to go to some of the bolts, the fasteners for this. The fasteners would have had the big number 8s. If you look at these number 8s, they're not, none of them are the same. They're just a little different. I think when they struck those, they were kind of primitive. But all the 8s look just a little bit different, but they are correct for that early of a wheel. And see, this one's kind of off center. It's not even in the middle. So I don't know what their striking procedure was back then, but they're, you know, it's kind of neat when you go back and look at some of this stuff, the kind of thing. And some of the 8s look bigger, but these are all out of the same batch, out of the same bike. The early bikes, the early first 1,000, would have had these big number 8s, and later on the outside fastener, they would have used these bolts. They have a big 8 on them, but that would have been on the later, like the straight guards and later bikes. And then they started putting a smaller 8 in there when they got to 69 and started getting smaller. So those are the different fasteners for the different ones for the wheels. But the early wheels would have had these big fasteners in those. Now I want to get to the hubs. Now this is very important. This is something that you don't see if you're restoring a bike and trying to do it properly. This is one of those things that you need to have it right. Now if you look at this hub, there's 4 webbings on this. That is an early hub for the 68 for the first 1,000. Now if you look at this one, see how they reinforced it later? They went back through and they reinforced that to make the hub stronger, because I guess they had these pieces breaking out in the middle, and they had people, you know, wrecking and stuff. So, like, well, I guess maybe we should go ahead and redo this. So, Honda went back through and they made the improvements to this, and they did rather well. Over the years, these held up a lot better than these. So these are super rare. If you ever run into these with any of these 4 webbings in there, you could probably ask some ridiculous money for them if they're in good shape. And if you ever notice, this one here looks really good. But when I show you this one here, you'll see the difference. These are early casts, and a lot of these have cast imperfections in them. And the reason why they have cast imperfections is because of the very first ones, and their molds, I don't think they were real good. Later on, they produced a better mold, and they ended up getting better. Now, if you look at this one, see the imperfections in the molding? And there's a lot of different imperfections. These are some of the earliest. And you'll see right here, a lot of these strike marks right here. That's all molding problems, which the reason why they quit making this is because, and if you look at these pieces right here, see how thick they are? Now look at this. Don't look at the holes because the holes are walled out, but look at the difference between how thick this one is and how thick this one is. This one is so much thicker. Now, if you compare these to the bottom, this has all the webbings in it just like the front, and this only has 4. These hubs are super rare and super sought after if you're doing the tall bar bike. And I get tired of people bitching at me about how they think my bikes are so much more expensive. Well, because I put the time in to do stuff like this to make the bike correct. Okay, so this 68 tall bar bike is going to be as close to original as possible. I'm putting original Nitto tubes in, original Nitto tires, original sprockets, original hubs. We're putting brand new Honda rims back on it. Somebody's gonna say, well, they're different. No, they're not. That's a Honda rim. It's same as it was the day it come out in '68. So they just might be made a little bit better. I'd rather have them on there than have some crappy old rims that are rusted out and pitted. So it's just whoever wants to do what they want to do. That's what I want to do. So that's the variation on those. Like I said, these are already done. This is done. Got these done. I got the rims prepped. I've got there's a big nut that goes on the back of these. This is a big nut that goes on the back of those. I've got several of those, and we'll put those nuts back on those to make those correct. But these will have a, if I remember right, I'll have to look at the book, but I can't remember if these have a flat washer behind them. I don't think they do. These bolts are for your sprocket. And there's on this one, it'll have a single. I have this thing that I'm working on. I don't know if I have it in here or not. These would have had a single sprocket washer. And I'm going to cut this in half and then bend this over, this tab right here for this, and that will make our separate sprocket washers. And I know it's not original. You can't find the originals. Nobody makes them. But I got these, and I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to buy another one if it works. And this will be my lock washers for the, they're basically the same size. So, but these come from Yamaha. I'm putting a Yamaha part on this bike. But we're going to cut these in half and use these, and I'm going to get another one, and I'll have separate sprocket washers. That's the way it would have been in '68 for the first version of those models. Those will be on there. I think those will look really good. Some of this stuff, if you don't have it, I hate to say it, but you have to fabricate it, or you have to do what you have to do to make it correct. But this here, this is minimal. I've got the original kill switch in mint condition. The motor's completely rebuilt. The paint is all done. The handlebars are completely re-chromed and done. So those are finished. But I wanted to start to do this first video with you. What we're going to do is I'm pretty much done in this phase right here. When I come back and turn this video back on, the wheels will be completely assembled. And I'll go through everything and kind of show you everything and how it works, how I've got it done. And might be a couple days before I get back out here, because I got to wait on another one of these. I got to order one of those, and I got to see if they're going to work actually. But when I get it done, then it'll be just a fast second, and boom, you'll be able to see the wheels completely done. So we're going to stop it right here, and then when I come back, I'll show you these wheels completely done. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so it's next morning. It's Saturday. We come out here this morning, heated up the garage, and we finished up these wheels. I want to say they turned out just absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, these are the Nitto tires, the original Nitto tires, original Nitto tubes. And then we put the hubs in there with the brand new Honda rims. The 415 sprocket. Now this is what I wanted to show you. These are the Yamaha that I ended up cutting in two, and then we ended up taking those, and they should have, on a tall bar bike, it should have separate rings. Now if you're going with a little bit lighter bike, I can show you what the other ring is supposed to look like. It's going to look like this. This is going to be one piece instead of three. But in the early bikes, they put separate ones. Now this one don't have one. I got to order one because I wasn't sure if these were going to work out. But I think they turned out really, really nice. I still have to bend them back around the other side, but they're going to turn out really good. But this would have been, I wanted to try to make it look more authentic, you know. And you can't find these. The part number's been gone for years. You can't find them. Don't make very many of them. So, yeah, I think these turned out really well. Like I said, I got to get one more for this side. I put these together and got them backwards, so then I had to, whenever you do this, you want to make sure that when you do the back wheel, the valve stem is on the brake hub side, and on this one the valve stem needs to be on this side where the axle goes through, and then the brake side would be opposite. Reason for that, that's the way they're done, so that when you put these wheels together, I don't know if you've ever noticed, sometimes you put a wheel together and you look at it and this wheel is off center one way or the other. It's because this hub is not in properly. But see, one side is more offset than the other side. A lot of people don't realize that. They're not the same on both sides. This side is deeper than this side. So you have to have this on the right side so that when you put the wheel on there, I've had so many people say, why is this wheel on not in the middle of the forks? Well, you put the hub on the wrong side, so this has to be switched around and then it'll work. So anyway, these wheels turned out really nice. I'm super happy with them. I want to show you one more thing over here. Just stay right here for a second, Devin, and I'll grab this and bring it to you. I've had a lot of people say that these wheel hubs are polished, lightly polished. Other people say they're not. You know what? I'm going with a lightly polished hub on these. These are going to look really nice. I've got all the original hardware to go back in them. But, and I've already had all that stuff zinc plated, and it's sitting over there. I've got everything done to build this bike, but we're not going to do that today. I just wanted to go through and show you the rest of this. This will be the end of part 1 video. But these hubs are going to go on there. I think those are going to be just really nice looking hubs for this bike. Once we get them all done, you know, I think it's going to be just dazzling. And if you look at this up close, you got all the big number 8 bolts back in there like it was supposed to be. Flat washer on this side, and then on this side over here will be a locking washer on that nut side. So that's how those go together for a tall bar. Now, if you're doing a slant guard, probably the same on most of them. If you get to a regular straight guard, they went to the different style bolts and everything changed. So, but this is going to be the wrap up for this video. I want to thank y'all for joining Yorkie Moto Garage, and we're going to, on the next video, we're going to get the frame out and we're going to mate the engine to the frame, and or we may put the wheels on. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to go about this. You can do it either way. I've got a frame stand that will hold the motor. I may just do that, and it'll be easier to put the wheels on after the motor's on. So yeah, we'll probably mate the motor to the frame, and then we'll do like the kill switch, maybe put the front end on, and a few other things. So join me on this next video, and we'll go from there, and we'll see what we got going on. And thank you all for joining, and make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you all so much. See you on the next video.